In this video, I want to show you how to get started with Hypothesis for our New Mexico history class. As you may know at this point, Hypothesis is one of the two options that you have for our Reading Annotations assignment. So you can either use Twitter for that assignment or Hypothesis. So this will show you how to use the second one. Hopefully showing you click on coursework content to access most of the course modules is not new at this point, and that makes sense to you. It's something you've seen. As with so many things in our course, Hypothesis, I've given you several different links to our course group on Hypothesis. There's one here in the overview and syllabus section where the syllabus and other things are included. As you scroll down, I apologize for the dizziness. If you go to the Twitter Hypothesis and Timeline tutorials and then click Reading Annotations, you can find the Hypothesis tutorial here. It's also embedded in the Reading Annotation instructions. And in those instructions, there's also a link to the course group on Hypothesis. So again, this is all just to say that there are several ways you can get to the course group. There's also a link to that in all of the Reading Annotations assignment links inside of the course modules. But I do hope that you would read the annotation instructions that are here. As with so much else, these are in Google Docs. So as you scroll down here, you can click here for the video, and then this one will help you access the group. So I'm going to click that to open the group and show you what that looks like the first time through. Of course, as with everything, it just depends on how quick your connection is. All right, so this says you've been invited to join the annotation group, New Mexico History Fall 2021. Click Login to join. If you've never logged in before and you haven't created an account, when you click here, you'll be prompted to do that. When I click here, it'll give me the opportunity to use my username and email, or email, I should say, and my password. Here is where you can sign up if you don't already have a Hypothesis account. It's a free account. Hypothesis is a good digital citizen in terms of not sharing user information in nefarious ways. You should look into all that stuff yourself. Um, and the other thing about Hypothesis, as opposed to Twitter, is it gives you the opportunity to annotate right in the margins of the reading. I'll show you that in just a second. Um, and it also gives you the opportunity to work in a closed private group rather than publicly. So again, those are choices that you can think about and decide which approach you would prefer and that you like best. So again, click sign up if you don't yet have an account, and I'm assuming many of you won't. It'll take you through some steps, as when you register for any new platform. This one does a lot of email verification. So if you use your CNM email, you can use a personal email. It doesn't matter. I do ask that if you have a username, my username, even though I use this email account, my username is bmorgan19. So you can kind of tell it's me. If you have a username that's very different than your personal name, just send me an email and let me know what it is so that I'll be able to find you on Hypothesis. So I'm just going to click login. If you hit any snags as you're signing up, let me know and I'll help you through that. I have some issues with my Chrome passwords. So once you're in the group, you'll see this. My name is here. You'll see your name added to this list of members. Anything you annotate will be here in this group list. That's one way that you can see what other folks have posted. There are a couple ways of doing that. In order to actually add annotations, though, you have to go to the reading that you want to annotate. So I'm going to open a new tab and show you how to do this. All right, so I'm going to go to my text at cnm.edu. I have a link right here straight to our digital textbook. The information about this is in the syllabus and in the overview and syllabus section, how to access our course textbook. So I'm going to scroll down here, and once you know what you want to annotate. So I'm going to click into this section of chapter 1 called the New Mexico difference, just to demonstrate how this works. As I'm reading along and I decide I want to say something about the idea that state histories were once thought of as parochial or provincial, I highlight those words, and I've already enabled the extension for hypothesis in Chrome. I'm using Chrome. If you're using Safari or Edge or a number of other browsers, Firefox, for example, what you'll do is get a bookmarklet or a bookmark for hypothesis, and I'll show you how to do that as I close out this video. But I already have the bookmark here, so I just click it, and once I do, you'll notice this annotate or highlight has popped up, and these tools over here have popped up. I'm going to click this arrow first to make sure I'm in the right group. You probably will only have the option for public and our class unless you're using Hypothesis with another of your classes. I am, for example, so this is not our class. So I need to click this little arrow, go down here to New Mexico History Fall 2021, and make sure I'm in the right group. If I do this with public or the wrong group, none of the rest of us will be able to see this. So that is important. Also note, every now and then, when you use the extension or the bookmark and you open this up, it'll make you log in again. You just click the little section over here to log in, and then everything will work as I'm showing you. So you may have to log in a second time. All right, so that's the sidebar. I'm going to close it. You can open it and minimize it with that little arrow. When you highlight something, highlights are just for you, but annotations are the things that we'll all be able to see and respond to in class. So if I click annotate, it opens that box that I just showed you in the sidebar, but it gives me this little area where I can write. So I want to write, I wonder why scholars used to think this way. So I put a question there. Usually you put a comment or talk about, why you thought something was significant, but it's also great in your annotations to ask questions. Whether or not you actually answer them, that's okay. Other folks might come in and respond to your questions and give you an answer. And we can all kind of mutually work together that way in the annotations. So that's something I'm wondering about. I click Post to New Mexico History, Fall 2021, and now my annotation is here. If I came into this page and I saw a bunch of other annotations from other users and I wanted to respond to one, I just click this little arrow here and it gives a reply box, and I can type in my response. Also, you can click cancel. You can delete your own annotations if you want to. For example, I'm going to click back on this other tab with the hypothesis group, and I'm going to refresh it because now you'll notice here is the annotation I just made. I can click on it and see the annotation out of context that I just made. But if you want to visit those in context so you can see what the text was that the person highlighted, you can get the understanding of what they were responding to and then reply to them, just click Visit Annotations in Context and it will open it up just like this in another tab. And you can do your responses. Lastly, then, just to show you how to do the bookmarklet part, you go to the actual hypothesis main page, which is web.hypothesis.is. You can see it here. Click here, and the instructions for how to add a bookmarklet or an extension are on this page. So to figure that out, click Get Started. If you log in, it will just take you back to kind of the page that we just saw where the list of annotations and groups are. So make sure you click Get Started. As you scroll down, you've already created a free account. Here is the Add Hypothesis to your browser. So I'm using Chrome, so it gives me this button to push to get the Chrome extension. If I was using a different browser, as it says, you can drag it to the bookmarks bar. So I just drag it up there to the bookmarks bar. I don't actually want to, so I'm using Chrome and I already have it this other way. Or you can right click or control click to bookmark this link. So I would just right click it, and then there should be an option. There's not, because I'm using Chrome. But if I was using a different browser, it would give me an option when I right click to add the bookmark. So again, you just want to bookmark it. And if you have a bookmark rather than the extension, so Chrome extensions are up here. Sometimes they get buried, so you have to click the puzzle piece and see where they're at. And if you want to pin them, you click the pin button and then they will appear up here. For a bookmark, if you're using a different browser, you just look to the bookmarks bar, or you might have to go into the menu of the browser and find your bookmarks and then click Hypothesis. But whatever you've done, once you click that, you will see these arrows pop up, and when you highlight things, you'll be able to have that annotate option. And that is how you will do hypothesis annotations for our class. Hopefully that makes sense. Please let me know if you have questions, if you need help. I'm happy to do that. It's what I'm here for, and I know that we don't have experience with this thing, so please do reach out. I hope you're having a good first week or so of class, depending on when you watch this, and I'll talk to you soon.